Hello guys and welcome back to Premier League predictions. Sophie, the international break is over. Let's celebrate with a big like target.
Ooh, 3,100. Let's go big.
Yeah, let's go big or go home. If you are watching this video and we haven't hit 3,100 likes yet, you know what to do. Click that thumbs up button and of course make sure to subscribe to celebrate the return of Premier League predictions after an international break. Get involved. These are the scores from the week's predictions just before the international break. Sophie did do quite well. I'm really struggling. I need to get some good predictions in this week. So let's get straight into them, guys. As always, be sure to share your predictions down below. We start, Sophie, at St Mary's as Southampton take on Manchester United. And look, Southampton have been really poor, but it's actually a big opportunity for both to get a win. If you're a Southampton fan, it's been frustrating, but you look at this and you think, Man United are not great. We could beat them. If you're a Man United fan, you think, this is a nice fixture to get winning again. So what do you reckon? I mean, surely Man United have got to be favourites, but
yeah, they will be.
With the home advantage, Southampton might get something.
They might. I've not been that impressed with them so far. But then you could say the same for Man United as well. So I think both teams could be looking at this as, I don't know, almost a must-win. Not in a way for points, but in a way to get that confidence going and momentum going, because both teams have been struggling. I know who my favourites are, and I think it'll be the bookies' favourites as well, and that's going to be Man United. Yeah. But as you said, Southampton being the home side, could they get something? Possibly, yeah.
I think when I look at these two teams, Southampton have a bit more of a plan. They have a bit more of an identity with the manager and the players. But ultimately, I just think on this occasion, Manchester United's quality will get them through. As we've said, though, we've not been too impressed with Manchester United so far, and I'm still not totally convinced by Ten Hag. But I am going to give them the win here, just due to the fact that Southampton do look a little bit out of place. Southampton 0, Manchester United 2.
Okay, I'm going for the same deficit actually. I'm going to say 3-1 to Man United. I think there could be a few goals in this one just because of the way that Southampton play. They do invite pressure, which can lead to mistakes. And I think Man United might capitalise on that actually. So yeah, I'm going to back the Red Devils 3-1.
There you go, both going for Manchester United, but as we say, it's an interesting fixture for both to try and get some points. On to the next one, Sophie. We go down to the south coast as Brighton take on Ipswich Town. Brighton have been fantastic. 7 points, 2 good wins, and then a good draw away at Arsenal. So they're looking really good. And you look at this fixture and Brighton fans will be thinking, let's get to 10 points, let's see where we can get to. I mean, I think realistically, top 6 or 7 is not impossible, but imagine if they got top 4 this season. Brighton in the Champions League. It's not impossible. Ipswich Town, I think they've been okay. As we said, they played Liverpool and Man City. You can't really judge that. And then they got a decent draw against Fulham. So from what I've seen so far, I think there's a real chance they could just have enough. But it is going to be difficult. And as much as I don't think this is a free hit, it's not one that if you lose, it's a disaster. I think Brighton just do have that bit more quality. It's when Ipswich are at home to mid-table and bottom half teams, that's where they're going to get most of their points. I'm going to say Brighton 2, Ipswich 1.
Okay, I'm going to throw another goal in there again. I'm going to say 3-1 Brighton. As you've mentioned, Brighton have started the league very well, and I do expect them to have a good season. I don't think it's just going to be a green patch at the beginning. I think it could be pretty consistent throughout. Saying that Ipswich, I do expect them to get more points at home, as you say, from teams lower in the division. So yeah, I can't see Ipswich getting a win here. If they could grind out a point, I think that'd be a great point. But I do fancy Brighton to win this. And as I say, I think there could be a few goals, so 3-1. 3-1,
there you go, both back in the home side there. Share your thoughts. If you're an Ipswich fan, I want to see your thoughts. Brighton fans, by the way, massive congratulations for the good start. Let's see if it continues. On to the next one, Soph. Let's go to South London as Crystal Palace take on Leicester City. Two teams that have only picked up 1 point from their first 3 games. I think most football fans would imagine Palace are going to get moving at some point, but if they don't win this, or even worse, if they lose this, it's been a really poor start, and Leicester, it'd be a great start. Of course, the big news for Leicester over the international break is that they're not going to get a points deduction, and I do wonder if that can actually give them a lift coming into this game, like almost as if they've just won their last game. It gives you a real boost. I think this will be a close game. I think Steve Cooper, I think he might, they might get a draw, but I don't know. I think Palace have really got to win this, otherwise it's not a great start. So I think it'll be close. It'd be really interesting if Leicester get a draw, because it'd still be really tight down there. But I'm just going to go for Palace 2-1.
No, I'm going to go for a draw, actually. I don't think Palace have started the best. Be interesting now to see the mentality at Leicester. I think Leicester have a real good chance now of staying up, and I think they might think that as well. Because beginning of the season, they had that almost looming over them. Will they not get a points deduction? How much will it be? And now that cloud has dissipated, you think, okay, for me, they've got a real good chance of staying up, and it's just going to be interesting to see the players' mentality now. I wouldn't even be surprised if they won this one, you know. After that news, I think there's going to be a massive high, but I do think that Palace have got a decent team. They've just not got off to a very good start, but I do expect them to turn it around at some point as well. So I'm going to go down the middle, 1-1.
Yeah, and I'm happy you have, because, like I say, I want to see the teams that come up from the Championship make it interesting.
Yes,
It'd be so frustrating if they all keep going down. So let's see what happens. On to the next one, Sophie. We'll go to Craven Cottage as West London take on East London. It's Fulham versus West Ham United. Share your thoughts on this one, guys, because I think it could be a close game. Once again, I'm thinking it could be a draw, but I don't think I'm going to go for a draw. I think West Ham United have had the harder fixtures out of these two.
They have.
Fulham have played Man United, Leicester and Ipswich, whereas West Ham have had to play Palace away and then Man City and Villa at home. And that away win at Palace was really impressive, and I think they might get another little away win here. Like, they might just sneak it by 1 goal. Fulham look pretty good. I think Smith Rowe's going to be really good this season. I'm going to go Fulham 1, West Ham 2.
Yeah, I'm actually going for the same. I thought you might back a draw, because I was half tempted to go for a draw. And I thought, you know what? I've been saying for a while now how I like West Ham. I like their signings. It just might take a little bit of time for them to gel. But I think actually on paper they have got the better team than Fulham. So I think they'll have a decent game here. I'm not going to go heavily in favour of them, because ultimately Fulham still have a decent team, and I do expect them at home to put up a good performance, but I'm just going to edge West Ham as well. So 2-1.
Yep, going for the same. Share your thoughts, guys. Like I say, interesting, because I think with Fulham having the home advantage, I don't really want to back them to lose this, but we have just gone for it. Okay, all right, let's go to Anfield, Sophie. It's Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest. It's an interesting match. Two teams that have had good starts. In particular, Liverpool, 3 wins out of 3, no goals conceded, and a massive 3-0 win against Manchester United, which is becoming a bit of a routine for Liverpool now, with 3-0, 5-0, 7-0. They always smash them, don't they? Nottingham Forest, though, they've been good. 5 points, they've not lost. They have had decent fixtures, and this is definitely their most difficult game. I don't see Forest getting
at
anything.
Anfield as well. It's a very difficult game.
Yes, Slot's really onto something here. I think Liverpool win. I don't think they'll completely thrash them. I think it'd be 2 goals.
Yeah,
I'm not sure whether it's 2-0 or 3-1. I'll back Forest to be the first team to score against Liverpool, but Liverpool going to win 3-1.
Yes, I think it could be another clean sheet. They look very organised at the back. So I'm going to say 2-0 Liverpool. I do think at times that Forest could be in this game more than Man United were. I think it could be a more difficult game than that, but you can't not back Liverpool at the moment. They're playing some good football. They look organised. They've got that attacking threat going forwards. Arne Slot's cooking up something, and who knows? Could they win the league? They've got to be in the shout right now. I know it's very early on, but they're looking good so far. Yeah, honestly, and it'd be great. Imagine if Slot wins the title. First season
in his
the
first
Prem.
season.
Yeah, that'd be ridiculous. I know he has inherited a good squad, so it can't be like, he's came in, he's completely transformed the team. He's not. He's kept the core team, but still, a lot of managers inherit a good team and then they can't make it work. So you have got to give him that level of credit as well.
I think that's a really good point. I think Jurgen Klopp deserves a lot of credit for how he's left Liverpool.
Yes.
When you think Sir Alex Ferguson, he passed over a not so good team to David Moyes. They were still great, but I think the team that Jurgen Klopp has passed down to Slot is so good.
Yeah.
So he deserves credit for that. On to the next game then, Sophie, which is Manchester City versus Brentford. Two teams that have been really good. Man City, as you'd expect, winning 3 games out of 3. They've been phenomenal. As for Brentford, though, 2 wins out of 3, and I'm probably going to back Man City because why wouldn't you? But
you don't think it's going to be an easy game?
I think Brentford are a really, really good team against the top teams.
Yeah.
I remember when they won at Man City like a year or 2 ago when Ivan Toney scored in the last minute. And I would not be surprised if Brentford could possibly get a draw because, as we said, Man City are maybe slightly more vulnerable in the first half of the season as opposed to the second half. But nah, Man City, it's Man City, isn't it? They're just so good. 2-0. 2-0 for me.
2-0. I thought you might actually give Brentford a goal because they have started the season quite well. They have pleasantly surprised me. But as you say, it's Man City. You can't not back them, especially at home. I'm going to say 2-1, actually. I am going to give Brentford a goal.
That's a victory, isn't it, against Man City? And that's not being patronising to Brentford. Anyone that can go to the Etihad and lose 2-1 is decent.
Yeah. Especially if you're going to be like in it as well. But what we have seen with Man City is sometimes like when they concede, they just then want to turn over a team. Yeah. But then they do almost like coast to the finish line, to the full 90, when you think actually they could probably roll teams like 10-1 after. I mean, I'm obviously talking about the Ipswich game, but I think this is going to be a really difficult game, actually. I think Brentford, as I've said, are a good team. They could put in a good performance and make it really difficult for Man City, but they've got that man Haaland, so it doesn't matter how bad they're playing, just give him the ball a few yards out and he'll score. Yeah. So, yeah, I can't not back Man City. 2-1.
2-1 and 2-0. Share your thoughts. The next game, Sophie, is at Villa Park. It's Aston Villa versus Everton. 2 big historic Premier League clubs, but both in completely different positions in the table right now. Aston Villa, really organised. They've got a great manager. They're about to embark on their Champions League journey. If you're an Aston Villa fan, do subscribe because I've got Champions League predictions coming out on Sunday. Get involved. I think Villa are going to be really comfortable here. Everton have been rotten, and you know that game against Bournemouth was such a good opportunity. I thought they were quite good in that game as well.
Well, they were when they were 2-0.
To throw it away like that
last few minutes,
is going to put them in real big trouble this season. I guess it's possible that Everton could do that weird thing they do every 10 games where they actually turn up and beat a big team that you might not expect. But I'm going to go with the safe bet here. Aston Villa 3-0.
Oh yeah, I'm actually going for the same. I'm going to say 3-0. I just can't back Everton at the moment. They have been poor. Anytime where you think, okay, they're doing all right, they might get something from this game, they do in Everton and then just throw it all away. And I just can't forget that Bournemouth game. But then equally, you've got to give credit to Aston Villa because they're a good team. It's not like Everton are that bad. I just think as well, Aston Villa are that good that they can turn up at home and beat Everton 3-0. I think I'm actually being quite kind with the scoreline as well because I was tempted to chuck in another goal and say Villa 4-0, but I'm going to be semi-nice to the Everton fans and just say 3.
3. Yeah. There you go, guys. Share your thoughts. Aston Villa flying, Everton sinking.
Dying.
Flying
right. Dying.
On to the next one. AFC Bournemouth take on Chelsea. Really difficult to predict because I think when they're both on it, they're both really good.
Yeah.
Bournemouth probably a bit more consistent than Chelsea. Chelsea can probably hit higher heights.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But Bournemouth are just steady good.
Yeah.
Whereas Chelsea are really good and then not so good, and like this. I think it depends which Chelsea turns up. If the Chelsea that turned up in the second half at Wolves does, they could win this. But Bournemouth haven't lost yet this season, and Chelsea, I mean, we did say after beating Wolves 6-2, it'd be typical if they don't beat Palace, and they drew 1-1.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to back Bournemouth.
Okay.
I think it might be 1-1 with a few minutes to go.
That's not backing them. Oh.
I think it's going to be 1-1 with a few minutes to go. Bournemouth snatch it 2-1.
Do you know, I'd actually love to see that. I'd love to see that for Bournemouth. Do you know what? Chelsea are that inconsistent that they'll probably turn up in this game now.
They might do.
After not turning up before the international break, they could well turn up in this one. They're so hard to predict. I don't think I'll get a correct scoreline for them all season. I would love Bournemouth to win or get something from this, but I'm actually going to back Chelsea 3-2. I think there could be a few goals in this one.
Wow, what a prediction. And that's worth a bonus point because you've gone for 5 goals.
If it comes true, yeah.
Yeah, we will see. Share your thoughts, guys. Look how different our predictions are there. Okay, on to the next one, Sophie. I love this. The North London derby. Tottenham versus Arsenal. Tottenham have been okay. I thought they played quite well against Newcastle, but they lost, which isn't great. They've only picked up 4 points so far, whereas Arsenal have picked up 7 points. Declan Rice will be missing because he got a red against Brighton.
Odegaard injured as well.
Yeah, see, that's not great. And the fact they've already dropped 2 points to Brighton, if they drop anything here, even another draw, they could be 4 or 5 points behind Man City. And that's no good after just 4 games. So Arsenal have to win this. Oh, I don't know. I mean, Tottenham are really hard to put your finger on.
They are.
When they're good, they're really good. And when they're bad, they're really bad. I just think Arsenal are more consistent. And I think they're going to find a way to win. I don't know. I'm looking forward, by the way. Tottenham's next game is away at Coventry.
Yes, yeah.
We will be there. So Tottenham fans, look out for us. But talking about this game, Tottenham 1, Arsenal 2.
Oh, okay. I think that's a safe bet. Do you know what? I'm actually going to go for Spurs. I think, being at their ground, having a couple of key players out for Arsenal, I think is going to swing it for me. So I'm going to say 2-1 Spurs, which would be absolutely massive for them and terrible for Arsenal.
Yeah. Wow.
But I see it happening. Just because of the injuries and suspension,
That's brave though, I like that. It might happen. And look at us going different on the North London derby. What I do think though is both teams score. I think it'll be a good game.
I think so. Yeah, I think it could be a good game. I actually really want to watch this one.
Yeah, the North London derby is one of the best derbies in the country when it comes to the football as well. Right, on to the final game then, Sophie. The final game, Sunday's 4:30 game, is Wolves versus Newcastle. Newcastle have had a really good start. 2 wins and 1 draw, whereas Wolves, 1 draw and 2 losses. So Wolves could really do with something, and with them being at home, I feel like it's possible. You know, Gary O'Neill knows how to take points off some of the top teams, and I don't know. But if Newcastle win this, 10 points from 4 games, what a start to the season that is.
Great.
I'm torn here between a draw or a Newcastle win.
Yeah, I'm the same. I was tempted to say 1-1, but I think I'm going to edge Newcastle. Not to sway you at all. Yeah,
well, I don't... Oh, yeah, okay. I'm going to go Wolves 1, Newcastle 1.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to go for the draw.
I was really tempted to say that because I could see Wolves just grinding out a draw here. It's not been a good start for them, so you don't want to lose at home. Otherwise, that would be a terrible start. But then, I don't know, it's a tricky one because Newcastle have started strong, so losing against Newcastle isn't the end of the world. Oh, do you know what? Just to be different again, I'm going to say 2-1 Newcastle. I'm going to back them to win.
There you go. But I'm glad we went different because I nearly went 2-1 Newcastle, and then I thought...
I nearly went 1-1.
Well, there you go. We've gone different. I mean, really interesting games this week. The North London derby is the standout game, though, isn't it?
It's got to be.
Well, there you go, guys. That is our Premier League predictions for another week. Be sure to get your predictions down in the comments. I will leave the fixtures in the description, so copy and paste that and share your own predictions down in the comments. Make sure to drop a like. It's great to have the Premier League back, so please do support us. It takes 2 seconds. If you can see we've not hit 3,100 likes, then please be sure to do so. And make sure as well to subscribe. 75,000 subscribers would be an unbelievable achievement, so make sure to get involved if you want your football fix. And as I say, look out for Champions League predictions on Sunday, and we've also got the Carabao Cup coming back on Monday. We will see you in the next one. Take care. Peace out.